Hello and welcome to How Not to Play, the channel where I play Magic badly. Today we are doing another Lost Caverns of Ixalan quick draft, because that's what I want to do. If you want to see me do something different, put it in the comments down below. Hit a like on this video on the way so that I know you're interested in my channel. And if you want to actually direct the content in a more hands-on way, you can log into my stream on Twitch at 10 p.m. Eastern daily and come hang out, chat, and watch me fail in person. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into today's draft and see what happens. Alright, so we have our rare in Brass's Tunnel Grinder. At the beginning of your end step, if you descended, put a boar counter, and if there are 3 or more, transform it. Also, when it enters the battlefield, you can discard any number of cards and then draw that many +1, so it replaces itself even. So that is amazing. It looks like a good descend build around. Descend is whenever a permanent goes to your graveyard. So when you enter the battlefield, you discard a permanent you've descended. And then you get to draw that card back again off your deck. So that's pretty cool. It even fuels itself. And then it flips into the Searing Rift whenever you cast a permanent using mana produced by Searing Rift. Discover X, where X is that spell's value. Discover, if you're familiar with Cascade, is pretty much the same thing. So if you were to cast a 5-mana spell off of Ixalan Searing Rift, then you would discover 5. You would exile cards until you find a non-land with mana value 5 or less, and then you can cast it for free, or, and this is a variation off of Cascade, you can put it into your hand instead. So that is actually a really good build around. Also in this pack, we see that we have Ixalan, the firstborn of Gishath. This is the red-green signpost card. Red-green is your ramp Dino Stompy deck. So we are on par for that too. I doubt it's going to wheel around though, because Dinos is an amazing deck. So Tunnel Grinder is going to be my pick here. And we're going to look at getting more of these Descend and Discover payouts. So here on color, we've got Goblin Tomb Raider. As long as you control an artifact, it is a 2/2 haste. You're not really going to have an artifact on 1, so I mean, it's still a 2/2 for 1, which is pretty good. But on turn 1, it's only a 1/2. Daring Discovery makes 3 things unable to block and then discover 4. So that's another one of those discover cards. You can just whip something off the top of your deck. On other colors, let's see what we've got. Sacrifice a creature. That is a good way to descend. To give it indestructible, that is a very good aggro card. Tendril of the Mycotyrant is a 2/2 for 2, and for 7 mana, you can turn one of your lands into a 7/7. So that is a very good late game mana sink that will just win you the game. I think for now I'm going to stay on color with the Goblin Tomb Raider. It's really not going to be a 2/2 haste. It's just going to be a 1/2 for 1. But it will get that +1 eventually, because there's a lot of artifacts in this set, and I've already got one in my hand. So let's go ahead and grab my Goblin here. The only thing on color here is Sunfire Torch, which is a 1-drop artifact that gives +1, and I can sack it to shock something. So that is actually really good and on color. Here we see another Ixalan, the green-red signpost. Dinos are a very good color or archetype to get into. At this point, I don't really know what I want my second color to be yet. Isquint is a very good pick. Dinos is a very good deck to be into, but there's just not much other green in this pack, and I don't remember seeing a whole lot of green in my last two packs either, so I don't know that I really have the support to go Dinos. So I think we're going to go with the Sunfire Torch here and kind of keep a low to the ground aggro deck kind of in mind at present. On color, we have Tectonic Hazard. Deal 1 damage to each opponent and each creature they control. Gold Fury Strider is a 3/5 trample for 5. Neither of those are really exciting. We have seen a lot of white run by, so getting a good removal spell like Duskrow's Reliquary might not be a bad idea, and kind of lean into white a little bit. We don't have to pick it all together, but going into an off-color removal spell like Duskrow's or Ray of Ruin would be something to do at this point in the draft. You don't know what your next color is going to be, but the on-color cards really aren't doing much for you anyway. So neither of these cards are likely to be in the deck. So if I pick an off-color card that I end up not being, that doesn't make the deck, I haven't lost anything. So we'll go ahead and take the off-color removal spell, lean a little towards white, but still kind of focus on red for now until a clear sign of that second color shows up. Here we have the white-black signpost card. I'm barely white. I'm certainly not black. So we're going to go ahead and leave that alone for now. The only red card is Burning Sun Cavalry, which cares about dinosaurs, which I honestly haven't seen any dinosaurs so far this draft. Well, Cavern Stomper, that's a really good dinosaur, by the way. As far as white, we've got Thousand Moon Crackshot, which really isn't all that promising either. So I am honestly leaning towards Promising Vein here. It is basically the Evolving Wilds of the format, but worse because you have to pay a mana to use it. But really nothing else in this pack looks even remotely promising, so the Vein it is. Okay, we've got Tectonic Hazard, which 1 damage to everything doesn't really do a whole lot unless they're on like a go white token plan. Zayoa's Justice, it's Chaos Warp is what this is. You tuck something of your opponent's, and then they can discover to get something else back. What else do we have here? We've got 3 black spells, 2 white spells. I think the best card here is Deconstruction Hammer. There are a lot of artifacts and enchantments in this set, specifically artifacts. So having this is gonna be pretty good, and it's an artifact to turn on Tomb Raider. When I sacrifice it, it triggers Descend because it's a permanent going to the graveyard. So I think Hammer is gonna be my play here. These packs are getting really rough. Okay, here we've got some good red to pick from. Quite a bit of good red to pick from. We've got our Idol of the Deep King, which is Flash Shock, Sunfire Torch we've already seen, Plundering Pirate ETB Treasure Token, Enterprising Scallywag, if you descended Treasure Token. So honestly, between these two, the Scallywag is probably better because you get Treasure Token anytime you descend. The Pirate, it is a 3/2 for 3 versus a 2/2 for 2, but you only get that 1 treasure token. So I think between the two of those, I would take Scallywag. Is Scallywag better than Sunfire Torch or Idol of the Deep King? I think I'm going to take the creature here because as of right now, Tomb Raider is the only creature I have. So yeah, I need a few more creatures. So here we have Sahili's Lattice. You can discard when it enters the battlefield. Discard a card, draw 2, so it refills itself, and then you can craft with Dinosaur to make it into an X4 dinosaur. Um, of note, all of the land cyclers in this set are dinosaurs. So I could use Seismic Monstrosaur here with Sahili's Lattice to mountain cycle the Monstrosaur and then bring it back essentially with Sahili's Lattice. So that is a very good synergy. And then likewise, we've got the Force Cycler here too. Same concept. Lattice is interesting, but I think I'm either going to go for the Monstrosaur or the Blade Master. I do have a lot of equipment already, so Blade Master is going to be a 4/4 for 3 or a 6/5 for 6. I might regret this, but I think I'm going to go with the Blade Master here. And the only thing on color now is Idol of the Deep King, which is fine. That's the only card that wheeled out of my initial pack. All of the other red cards have been taken, so red might not be too open on the table. Oh, we do have Daring Discovery, which has Discover 4. Compass Gnome will let me tutor out a land. My tiebreaker here is going to be Tunnel Grinder. And Scallywag, all care about Descent. Daring Discovery being a sorcery is not a permanent, will not trigger Descent, whereas Compass Gnome is. So let's go ahead and grab him. The only thing on color here, we've got Archaeologist. I can return an artifact from graveyard to hand or scry 3 as a 4/4 for 5, or Buried Treasure. As an artifact, I can sacrifice it to add mana, and then once it's in the graveyard, I can use it to discover 5. So I really do like that. It's a permanent that can trigger Descend and still go on to that little discover kick. So I think that's kind of interesting. Let's see here. We really don't have anything, so we'll take Strider just as a creature. Once again, it's just a creature. I suppose we'll take the Chaos Warp. It's kind of like removal. And that thing I said about red maybe not being open is apparently false, because we just got 3 red sticks. One of which isn't too bad. Alright, pack 2, we open up Abuelo, Ancestral Echo. We actually played with him in our last draft, so feel free to check that out and see how that went. Honestly, there is nothing else in this pack that I am even remotely interested in. We do have Envoy of Ekanekahau. Is a 3/3 for 3 that lets me create 1/1s for 5. It's a good late game mana sink. Cloud Guard is a 3/2 flyer, ETBs with a 1/1, so 4/3 flying for 3. I suppose that's the best I'm gonna get out of this pack. Yeah, this one's a pretty bad pack. Alright, here we get Soaring Sandwing is the Plains Cycler, so that is good to see. Dowsing Device, whenever an artifact ETBs, something else gains +1 in haste. I can transform it into Geode Grotto to give something +X and haste, where that's the number of artifacts I control. I do have a lot of artifacts that might not be a bad play. Let me know in the comments what you think the better pick here is. I think I'm going to go Sandwing because of the late game flyer and the Plane Cycler early game will let me kind of help out my mana base a little bit. We've got Family Reunion, give stuff +1 or hexproof, so it can be offensive, it can be defensive. As an instant, I'm not all that interested. Quicksand Whirlpool is exile target creature. I mean, that is very good removal. Rumbling Rock Slide deals damage equal to the number of lands I control. Also, very good removal. Panic Altasaur, 4/5 reach for 5. And I can tap it to shock my opponent. It is a creature, it is top end, and it is a win con. It has reach in more ways than one. So really, all three of these are very good cards. I am, however, extremely light on removal, so I am inclined to either take the Whirlpool or the Rock Slide here. And of those, let's see, Whirlpool, if I go for a tapped creature, is only 3 mana, whereas Rock Slide is 4. And Rock Slide might not kill it if it's a really big dinosaur. So we're going to go with Whirlpool here for the instant versus sorcery and for the absolute removal versus damage based. Here we get another one coming around, which is okay. Infantry is basically a 2/4 vigilance for 3. Dismantler, artifacts your opponent's control enter tapped. And I can destroy each artifact with mana value X. So she can sacrifice herself to blow up a lot of things. A 1/4 for 2 is a pretty good early game blocker. And there are a lot of artifacts, so having them enter tapped includes artifact creatures. So sure, we'll go ahead and give it a try. We'll see how it goes. I might regret not taking the second Whirlpool, but we'll see what happens. Let's see, Atali's Favor, an enchantment. Enters the battlefield, discover 3. Enchanted creature gains +1 and trample. Alright, that I do like that. Gold Fury Strider, we've already seen that one. And Calamitous Cave-In deals X damage to each creature and planeswalker, where X is the number of caves you control and in your graveyard. I only have the 1 cave right now in Promising Vein, but I think I like the Discover 3 here. Tali's Favor, you get to +1 something, and then you get another card on top of it. So, I mean, it already has a 2-for-1 on it. Plus, being an enchantment, if it gets milled or the creature dies, then that will trigger my Descent. On white, we've got Envoy, which is or Goblin Tomb Raider, which is a 1 mana So I think we'll just go ahead and grab the 1 mana. At least I'm not wasting a whole lot. Another Atali's Favor, Ancestor's Aid, target creature gains +2 in first strike. I think we'll go with Atali's Favor again. The Discover 3 will help pull something else out of my deck. So once again, you get that 2 cards for 1. So I'd either go Hotfoot Gnome, which dies to literally anything, or Glorifier of Suffering. So we'll see how that card plays. So this is our initial pack. Come back around to us, and the only red card left is Ancestor's Aid, which is a decent combat trick. And the only thing on color. So, guess who wins by default? Here we have Volatile Fault, which destroys your opponent's non-basic land. They get to tutor a basic land, and you get a treasure token. So, it's the Ghost Quarter of the format, only worse. Because your opponent gets to get a land, which they get mana from every turn. You get a treasure token that you can use exactly once. So the only thing on color is going to be my Burning Sun Cavalry, which is essentially just going to be a 2/2 for 2. All right, Grizzly Bear, let's go. The only thing on color, we've got Family Reunion, Compass Gnome. I guess we'll take the Gnome. It's at least a permanent. Same thing here. We've got Ancestors' Aid or Thousand Moon Infantry. We'll take the 2/4 Vigilance over the instant that does not trigger descent. Our Hidden Volcano did in fact wheel, so we'll go ahead and grab that happily. This one has absolutely nothing that I care about. And likewise, double stick. All right. Holy crap. And we get super rewarded for being red in pack 3 with Magmatic Galleon. ETB, deal 5 damage to creature an opponent controls. So 5 mana, kill something. Whenever one or more creatures your opponent controls are dealt excess non-combat damage, I get a treasure token. So it is... It gives me mana, it kills stuff, and it's a 5/5, only crew 2. I mean, I am definitely happy with that. I do want to mention Poison Dart Frog. This little Happy Tree Frog is going to warp this format. It is a 1-drop mana, or a 2-drop mana dork with reach and death touch. So early game it's got mana, late game it's a blocker. This is an amazing card. If you are playing against a green player, expect to see 5 of these. But for now, we are going to Magmatic Galleon because that takes care of that happy little tree frog, doesn't it? Let's see. Here we've got our Whirlpool again. Miner's Guidewing, 1/1 Vigilance. When it dies, explore. Not a bad 1-drop. Vanguard of the Rose. It's got that Descend payout, or that Descend enabler in its sacrifice ability. And it's a 3 power for 2 mana. And we have Cosmium Blast. This is the white removal to watch out for. Whenever you attack, your opponent has white +1. Expect this card. It is very good combat trick. I think I'm going to go for the 2-drop here. I already have quite a few 1-drops. So I would rather have another 2-drop than another 1-drop. Hopefully one of these removal spells wheels, because that would be really nice. Another Itzquinth is going around the table. All right, that Dino deck will be very happy. Another Dart Frog. For my colors, though, we've got Monstrosaur, which I am kind of happy to see, or Acrobatic Leap is, I don't really care. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and take Monstrosaur here for the mountain cycling, for the big body. Of note, we also have our white hidden land here and hidden courtyard. But yeah, we're going with Monstrosaur here. Another Dusk Rose Reliquary, so that's pretty good removal. Hotfoot Gnome, Burning Bears, and a Braid. All right, so we are gonna go ahead. We've got either a Braid or Dusk Rose. Dusk Rose does exile anything, but you have does exile a creature, yeah, or artifact. But you have to sacrifice something to do it. That sacrifice will trigger Descend, but I think I would rather have a Braid here, just for its versatility. I don't know, 3 damage to a creature or exile a creature. Well, with Reliquary, they can get it back if they have an Abrade. They can Abrade the Reliquary, get back whatever it is I've exiled. With the Abrade itself, it's just gone for good. So this is one of those iffy picks. You could go either way. I think I'm going to go with the Abrade here, just because I haven't really had a whole lot of play with it. Right. So here we've got our Hidden Volcano, our Panicked Altasaur, and Belligerent Yearling. It is a 3/2 trample for 2. Whenever another dinosaur enters play, its power can become that creature's power until end of turn. I don't really have a whole lot of dinosaurs. This is a whole lot better in the Dinos deck. I do have a couple with like Seismic Monstrosaur or something. So honestly, I'm just happy with the 3-2 for 3 or a 3-2 for 2. I think that's just a really good body. The only other options are a 1-drop craft Altasaur at 5 or my Volcano, so which I already have one of those. So I think we're gonna go with the dinosaur here. I don't have any real support for it, but still a 3-2 for 2 is pretty good. On red, we have Ancestors Aid, Tectonic Hazard, and nothing on white. So I suppose we'll take Ancestors Aid here since there's really nothing else to do. Sunfire Torch, the only thing on color. Spring. Adaptive Gem Guard is sneakily good. It is a 3-3 for 4, but you can tap any 2 artifacts or creatures to give it a +1 counter, and that does not tap the Gem Guard, so you can use that 2, 3, 4, 5 times a turn, however many things you want to tap. The only downside is its sorcery speed, so you have to tap out before you pass to your opponent. But still, it can become pretty big, especially if you've got a lot of equipments, because you can tap down the Sunfire Torch on a creature, and the creature will still get the torch's benefit. So, I mean, the torch, the hammer, all of these equipments, you're free to tap every turn to grow the Gem Guard, and they're not going to affect your board state in the least. So that is really good synergy there. So I think we'll do that. Our Iron Paw Aspirant Wield to give a +1/+1 counter, and that is really the only thing on this pack that looks halfway decent. Cosmium Blast did wheel around, so we do have that removal option at our disposal now. Acrobatic Leap or Hidden Courtyard. Let's go ahead and take Cave. We've got another Burning Sun's Bear. The only thing on color is Baton Landmark, Tectonic Hazard, and a Mountain. Alright, so first of all, Whirlpool is basically a 3-drop, so we'll move it over here. Let's see, where are we at as far as creatures versus non-creatures? So if we go up here and search type, :creature, we can sort out our creatures here on top, our non-creatures here on bottom. First thing I'm going to do is go down to 16 lands. It looks like we are very heavy on red versus white, so we will take out a Plains. Galleon, we're definitely keeping. Removal. That might go. I like the Discover, though. That's a 2-for-1. I've got to keep a 2-for-1, right? Tunnel Grinder, we're definitely keeping. Removal. Combat Trick. Leoa. Not exactly removal, because they get something else out of it, so that's more of a combat trick. Let's see. Treasure. Removal. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get rid of all of these, because we don't really need those. And so we've still got 11 cards to cut. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, well, the bears, yeah, we'll get rid of the bears. Let's go ahead and look at my curve here. Yeah, he can go. I don't really need him. He's just... Yeah, I'm not too thrilled about him. It's just a 2-4 vigilance for 3. I mean, it's decent, but I don't know. Compass Gnome. Honestly, with as low as my curve is, I don't think I need the land. The thing with him is he doesn't really ramp you. He just makes sure that you hit your land drops. And really, I mean, Yeah, for Seismic Monstrosaur and Soaring Sandwing, they are really big, but honestly, I'm looking at them more as 2-drops because I'm looking at the cycling aspect of them. So they're really a 2-drop and not like a 6 or 7-drop. So, I mean, my top end is my 1 of Magnetic Galleon and my 2 4-drops. Everything else is 3 mana or less. So I really don't need the Compass Gnomes land fixing because I should be able to land fix on my own. Buried Treasure, I do like the Discover 5, which would be like my entire deck. I do like the Sack It because that will trigger my Descent, so I do like that. Scallywag, if you descend a treasure token. So if we do the same thing up here and we go type Dinosaur, we see that as far as Belligerent Yearling goes, the only other 2 dinosaurs in my deck are Sandwing and Monstrosaur. So it's really just a 3-2 for 3. Or a 3-2 for 2. Because I have absolutely 0 other dino payouts on it. So as far as my other 2-drops go, I've got a 2-2 for 2, a 3-1, Indestructible. Alright, so yeah, we'll go ahead and get rid of Dismantler. I don't really care for it too much. I don't know, it does have that opponent's enter tapped. There are a lot of artifact creatures in this set, so Aspirant, I do like that +1 counter, but it's just a 2-3 for 2 basically. Okay, we'll go ahead and get rid of him. How about my 1-drops? Yeah, we can get rid of Landmark. I don't really care for that one. See, this is the part that always trips me up. I can make pretty good cuts all the way down to like the last like 2 to 5 cards, and then I'm just stuck because I want everything in this deck. The cards that I am probably lowest on would be Goblin Tomb Raider. I kind of want to throw those out, but at the same token, I don't want to go down to like 0 creatures. Because like I said, those are cyclers, so those really aren't creatures. I've got a lot of non-creatures, so I think I need to make my cuts out of my non-creatures. Since I'm unable to make the decision, I'm just going to go down 1 Atali's Favor and 1 Idol of the Deep King. Is that the best thing to do? Probably not. If you know what the best cuts were on this deck, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts on how best to trim down this deck to get its 40 cards. When it comes to drafting, this is probably the area that I suffer most. So please feel free to throw any tips down there for me and others like me who have absolutely no clue what we're doing. But this is the deck that we're going to go with today. So let me know what you think. Hit that like button down below, and let's go ahead and get into some games. Okay, and we get all mountains and a land cycle. Oh, never mind, it's a mountain cycler. Yeah, I cannot keep 4 mountains and 2 white spells. I just can't. Okay, so how about 4 plains and all red spells? What the heck is going on here? Well, we've got to keep this because I can't go down any further. I have no action in this hand, though. We'll go ahead and get rid of the Promising Vein because I've got my colors. We'll get rid of, I guess, Torch. And we'll go with this. We'll go ahead and GG our opponent now because there's no way I win a freaking mulligan. Oh my god. Alright, we'll pass the opponent. See what they're gonna kill me with. They do nothing, so let's go ahead and cycle for a mountain. Because I just need to get up to 5 mana as soon as possible. Well, on the plus side, next turn I'll be able to cast something. Or not. Because if I cast my guard, then I don't have mana up for Cosmian Blast, but if I Cosmian Blast, he's just going to hit me. So I guess we'll guard. Does he have removal? He's Rakdos. He has removal. So that Cloud Guard is not going to stick around. Alright. Yep. Like I said, he's the Rakdos with the removal. Alright, well, I suppose I've got 5 mana now. Kill that, get a treasure token, and yeah, that's it. That's all I've got. One good thing about mulliganing into the dirt is that you don't have to really decide what cards to play because you don't have any. You just play what's in your hand because you ain't got nothing else to do. Alright, let's get some more lands out here. Well, I've got nothing else to do, so let's go ahead and do some discovers here. We will be sacrificing our treasure token. I've got enough lands to do it anyway. And we get our own Brazen Blade Master. How do you like them apples? And we'll go ahead and pass turn. So we both have artifacts, which means that attacking is going to be a 4/4. But I do have a Galleon, which is a 5/5, so we'll see if I'm able to successfully block. Alright, looks like the opponent is able to successfully craft their Tithing Blade, which means that I am going to be taking 1 damage every turn, and they are going to be gaining 1 life every turn. However, I don't think that's an artifact anymore. Nope, it's still an artifact. Okay. Opponent does not attack. So I can use my Dusk Rose Reliquary to get rid of... Actually, I can use that to get rid of his Sepulcher. Let's Atali's Favor Blade Master. Just to get a Discover trigger. Deconstruction Hammer, amazing. Let's go ahead and equip it. Why not? We'll get really big. So if I'm swinging in for 6 damage every turn, him leeching 1 life off of Sepulcher is not that big of a deal. And if he wants to attack in with his Blade Master next turn, I do have my Cosmian Blast up that I'm able to get rid of it. If he drops something even worse, then I've got my Reliquary as a backup. Looks like he is just going to take it, which means he probably has a plan to get rid of my Blade Master, which is not good for me, but that's the game of Magic. Each Cavern Bat, look at opponent's hand, exile a non-land card from it, and oh. Well, alright, there goes that. Yep, I figured he'd have an answer for that. And he's gonna swing into the Cosmian Blast. Oh, 2 or more artifacts. Okay. Nah, we'll go ahead and kill it. I don't know. Was that the wrong play? Let me know in the comments below. past the turn. I still had stuff I could do. Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. I was going to... Because I could float my mana, and then why did it pass my turn already? Alright, Arena, you just screwed me. No! Dang it, Arena! I've got stuff to do! Stop passing my turn! Alright, full control mode it is. So if Arena would have let me play the game correctly, I would have been able to have discovered 5 2 turns ago. I would not have drawn that land. Well, let's see what I would have cascaded into. I would not have drawn that land. We would have had 5 mana there that I could exile Buried Treasure. And then I could have cascaded into Glorifier of Suffering. Here we go. A 3/2. So I could have had this 4-drop on the board 2 turns ago. Would not have affected anything because I still can't block Ceratops with it. But that's 2 extra cards I would have been able to draw. Oh, I should have crewed this in response. Oh well. Because if I would have crewed this in response, then it would have been a creature. And then I could have put his +1 counter on both him and the Galleon. I could have even equipped the hammer, swung for 7. Not that that matters, because opponent's just going to swing in and kill me because there's nothing I can do. Because I lost 2 turns to Arena being stupid and not letting me cast my Cascade when I wanted to. I was probably going to lose anyway, but who knows what those next 2 cards could have been. I mean, it could have been a removal spell. So that one is on Arena. That was not my fault. I fully blame Arena for that loss. What the hell is this? I'm getting paired up to a gold rank, like gold 1, or gold, I don't know, whatever like the high gold is. I'm barely in silver. You're pairing me up against a high rank gold opponent? What the heck, Arena? I mean, I'm keeping this hand because I've got stuff. We'll start off with a hit. Maybe I'll draw a mountain and I'll be able to Goblin Tomb Raider on 2. Nope, I'm not that lucky. But I can Deconstruction Hammer and then Goblin Tomb Raider. Hey, look at that, a 2/2 haste. And I said it wouldn't happen. Well, I said it wouldn't happen on turn 1. And that was turn 2. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get super aggro. We'll sack the Sun Torch, kill the Sun Scribe, do 2 more damage. I mean, that's the same as, you know, casting an Abrade, right? I took 2 mana. I lost 1 spell, he lost 1 creature. That's on par, right? Ooh. Opponent is getting cheeky over there. Alright, so if I Tomb Raider, then I can only equip the hammer, but I swing for 3, 4, 5. If I equip the torch, then I can equip them both, and I swing for 2, 3, 4. So Tomb Raider is going to be the better play damage-wise. We'll equip the hammer to him and go swinging. Alright, that is 5 to the face. What? They cast Ancestor's Aid just to get a treasure token. Okay, and then apparently they drew the land that they were wanting. So Whaling Pirates gave my Tomb Raider a stun counter, which then immediately came off because it untapped, or tried to untap. Let's go for Buried Treasure here with the Sun Torch. We'll equip the torch. Blowing up my treasure in the front. Maybe I should have saved the treasure for the gem card. I don't know. What do you think? Is this too aggressive? And they get themselves a 4/4. Alright. Hey, look at that. We found land. If I Glorifier, I can sacrifice Sun Torch. Give them both +1 counters. We'll trade 4/4s. Do you want that? The opponent wants that? Okay. Might as well equip it. I ain't got nothing else to do. I feel like I'm being too aggro. I'm using resources to get rid of things that I don't really need to get rid of. There is a 3/3. Go ahead and keep pressuring the opponent's life total. I doubt. Yep. Let's go exploring. That was a lot of lands in a row. I am so glad I did that. Let's see. We'll go ahead and use the Dusk Rose Reliquary. Yeah, we'll go ahead and cast it. We'll sacrifice the hammer, I suppose. He does not have the 7 mana to flip that, so I think we'll take the Envoy. That might have been the wrong call. Now it's 6. Oh my god, that was definitely the wrong call. One or more creature tokens would be created 3 times. Oh, that is amazing. That is an awesome, awesome card. I don't feel good about this, because that's going to give him his 7th land, which is going to give him a 4/4. But he has to block. I have to get that off the field. And that's really the only way I have to do it. I could use Promising Vein to go tutor up a land, but I just put a whole bunch of lands on the bottom of my deck, so I really don't want to shuffle them back. And yeah, that's going to give him a 4/4. Ugh, land. So we'll go ahead and tap those. So I've got a 4/4 too. That's not good. Let's drop the Tunnel Grinder, see what I wheel into. Well, it's not a wheel, it's just a draw. And it's a land. Okay. I did not need that. Let's go ahead and craft with my Sunfire Torch. We can put it on that one, sure, but that's really... all I can really do is pass the turn. Oh yeah, the combat trick too. Oh. So yeah, attacking there really would have been bad. Oh, you can use that on instant speed? That is amazing. I am so dead. And now he's got another 4/4. I am like as dead gets. I knew I should have Dusk Rosed the freaking mural. Dang it. Yeah, we went from being in a pretty decent spot to like being completely dead very quick. So I've got, what, 7 lands? When did my deck shuffle? I should have like 7 lands on the bottom of my deck. Oh, I guess they're shuffled on the bottom. So yeah, I've got like 7 lands on the bottom of my deck, 7 lands on the battlefield, and I just keep drawing more in hand. How? I don't know. It's just always, it is rain or flood with, I mean, we'll discover, because that's all I can do. No! I meant to cast it! Crap! Shit! That was entirely my fault. This is absolutely 100% a shame scoop. That wouldn't have saved me anyway, though. I mean, he was just getting too big of a board. Thank you, Arena, for finally having pity on me and putting me up against a freaking Bronze 1 player. Screw you, Arena, for pitting me up against a Bronze 1 player, because for them to get ranked up, they're going to have an amazing deck, and I am color screwed again. How do I get land screwed every freaking game? First game, I had to mulligan 3 times just to get a decent freaking hand. Granted, a 5-card hand. Second game, you just flooded me out, and now, oh my goodness! What is up with these hands? I have to keep it, though, because I'm not doing anything until turn... I should have mulliganed. I just should have freaking mulliganed. Alright, well, we did at least draw the planes that we needed to make a turn 1 play. So that, at least, could pull me out of this. I don't mind going land into land on turn like 2 and 3. So I mean, but if this better stop. All right, no more lands. That better be the last land I draw until like turn 10. Or just keep drawing lands. Yep, that's exactly what I said. Thank you, Arena, for absolutely nothing. Let's do a Tali's favor here. It's the same thing as equipping the hammer. It gets +1, plus I get to discover 3. And my next 3 turns would have been land. I literally had 6 lands on the top of my deck. I literally had 6 lands on the top of my library. So we will cast the Tunnel Grinder. Let's go ahead and discard Promising Vein. That will get me 1 Descend. I don't really need to descend any more than that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and attack. If he wants to block with his 2/2, I am all for that. He is playing black. He probably has removal. If he's got that stupid knife, I have to sacrifice it anyway. No? Alright. I could Idol of the Deep King, but that's 3 mana. I'm gonna say let's do this the absolute longest way possible. go ahead and swing. I'll go ahead and sacrifice the torch because that will trigger my descend. Will maybe kill the goblin. Do 4 damage, trigger descend. Let's go ahead and pop out my dismantler. And pass the turn. Yep, he is on a full-on descent deck, so that's just why I needed to get rid of him, because anytime he descends, that's going to grow bigger and bigger. Let's see. Let's go Buried Treasure into Glorifier of Suffering. We'll sack the Buried Treasure. Oh, yeah. Because if I would have tapped it for mana, it would have sacrificed anyway. And we will put our +1 counter on Yearling and Glorifier. Maybe I should have gone with Dismantler. I don't know. And now Grinder flips, and I have my Discover Land. So now whenever I cast something, I discover that spell's mana value. No! Let me try it out! Oh, opponent! I finally got to do something cool. Alright, I'm back in my own bracket. And color screwed! Thank you, Arena, for doing this again. And, oh god. Alright, well, we'll keep it. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got my curve. Except I have to throw something away. Tell you what. Since I end up getting land flooded anyway every game, let's go ahead and tuck the land. It means in the next 4 turns, I only need to draw 1 land because I'm going to get 1 guaranteed off the Sandwing. So we'll start off with our 2/2 haste without the haste. Osmium Blast, not bad. We'll swing in. It's not a land, but it's not bad. Opponent is on Rakdos again, so they're going to kill my Tomb Raider, aren't they? Oh, Buried Treasure. Yar, matey. Let's go ahead and find my own treasure in the Plane Cycler. So that will guarantee my land drop here, which is good because that was the only land drop I was getting. Yeah, I suppose we'll do Tully's Favor. I can discover off of it. And I pull an Abrade. I have no targets for that, so we'll put it in hand. And go attacking. But now opponent knows that I have removal, so they're going to expect an Abrade. They still don't know I have Cosmium Blast, though. Looks like opponent timed out. Let's go ahead and swing in. Alright. And we'll go ahead and drop the Cloud Guard here. That will give me... oh, I probably should have done that first because that would have given me an extra power. Whoops! Visage of Dread. So he's going to Thoughtseize my critter. Okay. He's leaving me with 2 removal spells. We'll go to combat. I suppose we'll swing out. 3, 6, 7. Not quite lethal. Sure, we'll go ahead and drop the planes. Horror. Okay. I kill it, he discovers 3. So I think we'll hold off on that. He might block the gnome, but then 6 damage gets through and he's dead next turn. So he kind of has to block the raider. I mean, he's probably going to anyway because that will... I think I just swing with the 3. I think that's the best play here. Because I don't know what he'll discover in 2. Let's go ahead and drop Gem Guard. We will tap those 2. Give him +1. We'll leave up Tomb Raider as a potential blocker. But if he swings, I think I just let him. I'm at 20 life. I don't think he's going to swing. Discovers Goblin Tomb Raider of his own. That is a 2/2 hasty. He can map, yeah, he can explore, maybe give it a +1. Not a bad idea, but he gets a land instead. Alright. That I can kill, but he's probably just going to use Visage to exile his stuff instead. If he exiles the Gnar, he does not get to explore with it. We'll go to combat, we'll swing with the flyer. He's gonna have to find some way of dealing with it or he just dies next turn. Has to kill my flyer this turn or he's dead. Because he doesn't have enough damage to kill me. Okay, I mean that could work. Except he knows I have a braid, so he has to have a way of pumping it, or else he's still dead. And he's out of mana. So deal 3 damage to target creature. Go to combat, swing for 3. How? How is this doing this again? Plains, 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 plains! I do have a mountain on Monstrosaur, but I mean... No. Alright, we've got an even mix here. I still don't have anything I can do, though. Alright, well, we'll keep that hand. We'll pitch the mountain, I suppose. I can always pull it back with the Monstrosaur. Oh my goodness. These hands. These hands. Getting their ramp on. We'll swing 2 because that's legitimately all I can do. If he gets rid of my dismantler, then I literally have no defense. So he is on dinos. So, I'm just dead. We'll just keep swinging, I suppose. If he drops a hasty, I've got Cosmium Blast. I don't think I'd cycle Monstrosaur here, because I'm only 1 mana away from casting it. And, I mean, I've drawn land so far every turn this game, there's no reason that I won't do so again. Oh, that is like the worst hit he could have gotten off of that Discover. Oh, man. I mean, it's not like I'm applying any kind of pressure here, though. Although I do have Monstrosaur next turn. 6/5 trample. He gets a 3/3 plus 3 life. So yep, he reveals Cavern Stomper. I assumed he would have something like that. Alright, so we Monstrosaur. Next turn I have Quicksand and Cosmium Blast, but there's really no point attacking here. I'm probably going to take a hit for 4 off of the Kin Collar. Unless he has a fight spell. I forgot about that Death Touch working pretty well with fight spells. Or bite spells. There are a few of those here too. Oh no, he's just got his own. Alright. That works. Six mana to get rid of his Monstrosaur. And then I'm SOL when he hits Cavern Stomper. So my options are get rid of Monstrosaur or Discover 4. Or I could pass turn and wait for him to attack me. Alright. Except now he's going to get a Cavern Stomper. Alright, so he does swing out. So let's go ahead and Osmium that. Alright. So he's still going to hit me for 6. Sack a land to draw a card. Alright. That means that he is 1 land further away. And then I think I can go ahead and make this block here. She's really done her damage. Alright, let's go ahead and see what we can discover here. Vanguard, sure, we'll go ahead and cast that. We'll equip that. Swing for 7. And I've got lethal on board. He's only got 5 mana and 1 green source, so that Cavern Stomper is probably not hitting the battlefield anytime soon. He's going to have to find some other action here. Disturb Slumber, okay. He makes his land into a 4/4. Is that permanently or until end of turn? Reach and haste. And must be blocked. Okay, well, I guess I should have dropped my land. And Inky. Okay, so it was at least just until end of turn. Let's go to combat. We'll attack. We'll go ahead and shoot Inky in the face. Do us 6 damage. We'll do some discovering. And we pull Adaptive Gem Guard. Alright, very good. I like that. Force cycling. Okay, that plays a chump blocker. So he's, again, not quite dead yet. Destroy artifact. Alright. Actually, now he is quite dead yet because Monstrosaur has trample. And so I'm doing 5 damage straight up. And there we go. Again? Are you kidding me? Again? I mean, I suppose I at least do have my Plane Cycler here so I can fix my mana. But this is ridiculous. Like, literally every game I have gotten... Well, maybe not every game. But I have gotten, like, all mountains and then all white spells. Or all plains and all red spells. Like, I can't win. Alright, we did get a plains though to maybe help draw us out of it. But I'm not going to play it yet because we're going to drop our belligerent yearling. Opponent's going to think I'm on dinos. Opponent is on dinos, so they know how belligerent this yearling can get. And he just drops a bear. Alright. I think I'll let it hit, honestly. Let's torch onto the yearling. Go to combat. We'll swing. And yeah, let's go ahead and kill him now. That removes the blocker and shows my opponent that I can race. At least until he drops something bigger. Yep, he is definitely on dinos. And yep, that stopped his attack. So let's bring out my planes. Oh, hello, Monstrosaur. So I don't think I swing this time. I'm just going to drop my flyer and call it because he is obviously planning to block. And if I wait until I cast Monstrosaur in 2 turns, I can do a whole lot more trample damage than I can right now. Okay, that's a big boy. Well, I just so happen to have an answer to a big boy right here in my Magmatic Galleon. Deal 5 damage to target creature. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and swing in the air. And let's see what happens next. Rampaging Ceratops. Alright. Do I have another Galleon, please? Please do I have another Galleon? Alrighty, so it is my turn. Let's go with our Monstrosaur here. That turns on Belligerent Yearling. Let's go ahead and... Oh, crew 2? Crap. Alright, we'll have to crew off the Monstrosaur. Should have dropped the Tomb Raider. Oh well. That is a swing for 14 exactly, so he does have to block at least some. Does he have a plan for my flyer? Because he's dead next turn if he doesn't. Yeah, that'll do it. That will shoot down my flyer. Yep. Yep, there you go. Shoot down the flyer. That was the correct play. So let's go with Scallywag and Tomb Raider. We will go ahead and crew off of the Scallywag and swing out. That should be lethal because he can't block both because the trample damage and he's only got 2 health. So I believe that's game. He can chomp, but he still takes 4 to the face. 5, I can't count. And here we are again with Mountain, and a whole bunch of white stuff. I mean, I do have some red that I do have some spells I can cast, so I guess we'll keep. This one is far more sketchy since I do not have the Plane Cycler in hand. So if I don't draw a Plains, I just don't draw a Plains. We'll start off with our 1-drop Tomb Raider. We'll go into, I suppose, Yearling is the best one here. think I would rather have Scallywag, but I think we'll go Yearling. Because that's something he's going to want to kill. So I think if I drop Scallywag here, I might be able to get a treasure token off of this attack. Because he's likely to double block Yearling. Or just let it all go through. That works too. Okay. Gem Guard is problematic because it is now a 5/5. Because he can tap those and he can tap his 1/1s. And yeah, he now has a 5/5. Alrighty, so I think I do Tunnel Grinder here. Will toss Dismantler because I can't kill the Gem Guard with it anyway. I could kill the 2/1/1 tokens, but those really aren't that problematic. Do I drop Vanguard too? Yeah, we'll go ahead and get rid of the well, no. Because I do like that sacrifice as a Descend enabler. And I draw another mountain. And my Mountain Cycler. Alright! Yeah! So no attack, but we did Descend, so we get our treasure token, so I do have white for next turn. Oh, buddy. That is bad for me. Uh-huh. Yeah, that Gem Guard is going to get big. So I think what happens here is he swings. I chump with Tomb Raider. And then use Quicksand Whirlpool to get rid of that thing. Hey, look! A Plains! Where have you been all game? So yeah, we'll definitely Whirlpool that. It is Ixalan. Let's see, I have 3/5 mana. So I can do Seismic Monstrosaur next turn, even without the treasure. So we'll do Vanguard. Sacrifice my treasure token. Unfortunately, as a token, it does not trigger Descend. Go to combat. I don't think I really need the treasure tokens anymore, since I do have my planes out. So I think we will go ahead and double swing. If he blocks the Yearling with the guard, or he just doesn't block at all. Alright, yeah, that works too. Honestly, I do kind of wish I had my Dismantler now, because I could just clear off all of his 1/1s for 1 mana. Does he attack, is the question. So he sacrifices his 1/1 to get +1 counters. I guess he could blow the Tinker's Tote, keep his board, but I'd probably go for the 1/1 in this case. And save the Tinker's Tote for the gain 3 life. That 5/4 is going to be kind of hard for me to deal with. So we'll play our land. We will Monstrosaur. Do I just swing with him? We'll go for it. I want to pressure my opponent's life total to make them stop attacking me. I don't have very good blocks here. Oh, that was a good spell. Alright. Well, that was a nice combat trick. I'm glad I got it out of his hand now. Oh, dang. That's pretty good. That's 10, puts me lethal next turn, so I really do have to block here, don't I? Yeah. Alright, we'll block his map token with my... That is very good. And he pulls a Petrify off, so... Yeesh. So he can Petrify probably my Yearling. I can't do anything about his flyer. I really, really, really need... If I had another Plains or Treasure Token even at any point in this game, I do not die this turn. If I had Tully's Favor, I do discover something. It might be a Cosmium Blast. That was about the only card that kept me alive this turn. Let's see if I get to use it. If he has any way to pump the Cloud Guard, then I'm still dead. But it looks like he does not. Otherwise, he wouldn't have pacified there. So he's going to swing out with everything. A Yearling is going to have to block. He's not swinging with the guard. It's still 5, it's still lethal, so I do still have to block. So we'll go ahead and block. If only this descended on your opponent's turn too, it would be a lot better. Suppose we'll just pass turn. Pirate Hat, okay. Does he equip it to the... Yup, he equips it to the 1/1. So let's go ahead and let him do that. The only problem now is he's going to go out of Cosmium Blast range. So I have to Idol of the Deep King here to do 2 damage to it. But now he can just equip the Pirate Hat onto the Cloud Guard, and I'm not going to be able to Cosmium Blast it because it's going to be an X5, and that's going to be the game. He got the exact card. Arena was bound and determined to color screw me this. No, I did not have fun. You keep color screwing me. How am I supposed to have fun if you keep color screwing me, Arena? And that's the difference between having a functional mana base and not. So as we saw in a lot of those games, I was able to use my land cyclers to fix my mana. I was able to use the different treasure tokens, buried treasure and such, to get the colors that I needed. But in that last game, it just wasn't there. So, I mean, you can really see how having an adequate mana base, even in your draft decks, helps you navigate some of those harder games. So yeah, definitely don't pass up on those land cyclers. I'm pretty sure that's the only reason that I did as well as I did, because Arena was hard and fast color screwing me literally every single game. Maybe like 1 or 2 games I didn't have to mulligan to get my colors. I mean, it was just bad. But all things considered, I think we did okay. I mean, 4 wins, 3 losses. I mean, yeah, it's no trophy. I mean, yeah, I still lost resources because I didn't get up to 6 wins to get my full entry back. But, I mean, we did okay. Let me know in the comments below what you would have done differently, how you might have been able to salvage some of those games. I would really like to hear it. And I suppose I'll see y'all in the next video.